I'm keeping it chill out here. We're at Airbnb in California. Just chilling.
Yeah. What happened?
Drop a location.
When did we go to LA? What happened?
Man, bro, I didn't tell you about that little thing I got.
We in Atlanta.
That thing that's like,
that thing.
you press the button and then.
Okay. Art
That shit's dead, man. I just got here.
You just got here?
I just got here.
He just pulled up. He knows what's good.
Yeah.
We're already there.
Art is the artist, right?
Artist to artist, yeah.
So what does your art mean to you?
What does art mean to me? It's a self-expression of the life that I'm living and how I'm currently feeling, but also a reflection of things that I've done and kind of the lessons that come out of that. It's a lifestyle. It's a motivation more than anything, I think. That's what my art means to me, personally.
Okay.
That was poetic as fuck.
That was off the top. Just
Man, that was
farted that out.
That was deep. I feel like I'm drowning right now.
You got it though. Just
Deep blue sea.
wade in the water.
What's happening? My name is Hakeem, Eastside Atlanta. Not a Grady baby, but don't worry about that. I was born in front of the belly of the beast. Alright, let me stop playing. Yeah, my name's Hakeem. This is Art to Artist. And I'm from East Atlanta, Georgia. What does art mean to me? My art's a statement, but it's also a feeling that others can gravitate to. As my art, as I relate to the definition of art, I believe that sometimes a statement can be seen and heard at the same time, which means you can use your eyes to guide you through the music, and that's what I want to portray.
Damn. Everybody with this deep shit. Alright, I fuck with you guys.
What does your art mean to you, bro?
Artist to artist, right? This is Anon Fresh. I'm a Southside kid from the West Side. What is art to me? I'm gonna keep it simple. That's a manifestation of what goes on in my head, and it's how I express it to everybody else to let them collaborate with me. So as far as the long answer, that's about all I got.
It's good.
So it's my turn. Artist to artist. Yo, this is Black Lord, East Side from Atlanta, the Lord Savior. What does art means to me? So art means growth, not just through art, but through life and shit. You know, it's also a lifestyle, like how you live, you know, how you treat people, you know, like through art, and just like, you know, self-expressions, and all about, you know, love at the end of the day, you know, just, you know, spreading love with that art. So that's all I got.
Black facts.
What do you hope that the listener will take away from listening to your music?
I would want the listener to conclude any record I make with a sense of perspective, or probably like a feeling that I was in at the time. That way they can sort of catch or grasp the lesson in the overall arc of the song itself, you know what I'm saying? And perhaps resonate with it, you know, because, you know, some people aren't going to resonate with one song and someone may represent with another, you know what I'm saying? That's just how people are. That's why artists make multiple songs. So I think with that in mind, keeping in an idea of how you want somebody to feel and what you're trying to translate to that person, that way it can resonate with them, basically.
Sure.
She said, what's your creative process? I mean, I can explain mine, but that's... I can't really say that. Sometimes I just walk up to that shit and start saying shit.
No, bro, you listen to a beat twice and then fucking put the headphones on and hold your phone in front of your face and one take, or maybe two, pretty much everything. Like every now and then you'll sit there and split it up and like cut in and shit and like punch in on it, but it's like, it's honestly, it's kind of insane. That's why I have to talk shit when he does something really good sometimes, because he's honestly too good.
Look, I personally think,
fucked.
I do personally think it's a matter of I don't know. I gotta catch a vibe. Once I catch that vibe, I think it's over with. I think right then and there, once I finally snap and lock in and tuck in what I'm trying to convey on the record, it comes through like a message of some sort, like a flock of seagulls flying over a horizon. I don't fucking know. See, look, just like that. That was off the dome. You feel me?
Whatever.
Get at me.
Whatever. Me, I'll sit and I'll listen to a beat for like a month and like write something, record it, listen to it, hate it, rewrite a million other things, love it for a little bit, then hate it again, and then eventually like listen to it enough times and know exactly how I want everything to be worded and what tone I want where and how I want everything to sound, and then I'll do a take where I'm like, all right, yeah, that was good. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, I work every now and then I'll get something where I can just like write it all out like in one fluent session, but for the most part it's kind of like I like sitting on it. I like listening to it more than one time before I'm like, yeah, that's the one that I'm like, fuck it. That's the one that I'm gonna keep. You know what I mean? So I don't know, that's why I started recording myself, because I can't fucking pay for studio time and use that process. It gets really expensive.
Glad you know that.
Yeah, I mean, I did that. I did with all of my hardcore music I made. That's, you know, I mean, we would have the rough draft of the song before we'd go to the studio, which took like a couple weeks to make. But, you know, I don't know. So I guess that's kind of my process for like creating music, and honestly, really, most of the art forms I do, like even with like painting and shit, like I use oil paints, and like that's something that the paint stays wet for, you know, when you're fresh painting, it'll stay wet for like a week, and you can go back and change the way that like a shade is on a certain part of the painting. So it's kind of like, I don't know, that kind of mentality kind of transfers over into other mediums too. Just kind of like being able to go back and make it better after you can look at it or listen to it for a little bit.
Fire.
Perfecting it, I guess, to the best of your ability, your resources.
Yours.
That's the intention.
If it's for me, then I mean my creative process pretty much stays static. I'll cycle throughout a couple beats. I always start with the hook. As soon as I hear a beat, I hear a hook, so I can knock that out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not this beast over here. I'm punching in. I don't care if it's fucking every word. I'm punching in because I feel the intention behind everything I'm saying, and I'm writing as I go. You know what I'm saying? No pen, no pad, so fuck it. We just gonna ride it out. But yeah, you know, that just shows to how we work as a unit. So, you know, that's me.
It's me.
Oh, it's on me. Oh shit. I'm going to sell, man. I'm going to sell. I feel like people, you know what I'm saying, with creative flows and shit, for me, just like, I take time with music and shit, you know what I'm saying? Especially if it's like, if I'm trying to like make it sound good and shit, you feel me? Like, I don't want to like just rush through that shit, you know what I'm saying? Because motherfuckers, they'll talk about, oh man, I can make a beat in 5 minutes or 10, 20 minutes and shit. Well, you just, you know, basically wasting talent and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because like, I feel like, you know, as a artist, you know what I'm saying, you should take time, you know, making your music, like crafting your music, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much perfecting your craft, you know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
And just like, you feel me? Like, once you got down and get that shit done and shit, you feel me? And just like, boom, you good and shit. Like, for me, it's just like, sometimes it takes like a couple of days and shit, you know what I'm saying, for me to, you know, finish a good beat and shit, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's how it is, man, you know? That's just the game for me.
Drew me to music, right?
Yes.
Alright, so what, I was like 11, and my grandpa on my mother's side, like my step-grandpa, but it's like the only grandpa I knew on that side, he sent me a guitar on Christmas. Didn't ask for it, never like knew I wanted to play guitar or whatever, and like it just sat in my room for a while and didn't do nothing with it. Long story short, started fucking around with it, and I don't know, that progressed into me wanting to start a band, because all I did was play guitar. I lived in the middle of nowhere and just played guitar, and then that turned into being in a band and touring in a band, and that band breaking up, and then dealing with life as an adult and kind of growing, and the music kind of growing with me through that whole process, I guess, which kind of got me to where I am now. So I guess that's kind of what like ignited that. But then it's like it's the feeling you get when you're in front of a large group of people, whether it's 50 people or 100,000 people. When a crowd does what you envision in your mind them to have done, like when you're making the music and you close your eyes and you listen to some music that you just made that you know is fucking fire, and then a crowd does exactly what you envision them to do, the feeling you get from that is
phenomenal.
I don't know, nothing else in that moment matters. It doesn't matter how much shit's going on in your life. It doesn't matter how many distractions you have keeping you from the path you're supposed to be on. In that moment, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, exactly when you're supposed to be doing it, and it's perfect. And it lasts like 30 minutes. And it's like a once in a blue moon opportunity these days, because most people are just disassociated. But when it does happen, it's like it's untouchable. There's nothing else like it.
It's a beautiful feeling.
And it's, I don't know, like I've had a lot of that in my life, and I'm just kind of chasing that, and that's is what keeps me waking up in the morning. What was that you?
Not me, man.
Oh, okay. Well,
That was gross.
I take it back.
I didn't like any of that. It sounded like a
Asshole.
So yeah, that's what got me into music and art and painting. I did all these paintings and shit too. Not that one, but all the other ones.
Crazy.
Right?
So, multi-talented, abstract.
Yeah. Make jewelry,
all that.
travel more than anyone else I know.
This is true.
Yeah. No, I do a lot of shit. Remodel houses.
Houses.
Hey man, real estate's the money. Say what.
Houses.
So you just
Yes,
all around
houses.
creative.
Yeah, I like to create things. I like to fix things and make them better and maintain them, and I don't know.
I like to build happiness.
Okay, so
Yo,
Ain't out fresh.
so we were talking about what inspired music or what brought us to music. For me, music has been, it's really just like in the blood, not to sound like typical or cliche, but it was just always around. All my siblings were doing music, you know. I'd always hear about my uncle doing music. So yeah, you know, it was just kind of always a matter of when you decided to start creating. So I remember being probably right around the time I was a teenager, deciding that I was going to take music seriously, but at the time I knew realistically nigga was broke, so I really had no way to really get any instruments or do anything crazy. I couldn't really join a band or anything, so I just made a name and I just promoted music. I just stay up all night. It didn't matter if it was 3 in the morning. I didn't care if I had school the next day. I was just compiling music lists and sharing them and posting them. I prided myself on finding local underground people. So, you know, I've always been about like what's the surrounding things in my community, what was going on there. So, you know, I always tried to tie music to the community and make it make sense long term, you know. So that's it for me.
Ashe.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, what was the question?
Black Andy.
Ugly ass motherfucker. Yo, fuck this nigga. Don't even worry about this nigga.
Hey,
So-
hey, bro, that's my boy. That's what it's like.
Yeah, it's all love. It's all love. It's all love. It's all love over here. All right, so what inspired me to get into music? So music has been part of my bloodline for a very, very long time and shit. And I didn't fully get into music until I was like 16 years old. When I first listened to Kid Cudi, Man in the Mood Part 2. that's what got me inspired, getting into music producing. And next thing you know, as years go by, I just fell in love with sounds and shit. You feel me? And just like me as being like music producer. I mean, I look at myself more like a beat maker, versus producer. Because it's like, I just love making beats and shit. You know what I'm saying? And
So, are you working on any new projects?
Yes, we're working on a project called Art of Struggle, and it's been a long time coming. We've been kind of working on it for a while and just kind of like cultivating. Like, we made a lot of music to kind of pick out the music that's on this, and like sometimes it was music that got passed over or whatever, and it just kind of all came together into
A project.
yeah.
Yeah, we got the Art of Struggles coming. I got some more personal shit, but I really put my focus on the Art of Struggle because the way I see music is as a collective environment. Like, that's how I've always seen music. And over time, I haven't really visited many collectives that was as tight-knit as, like, how me and Cusco are. You know what I'm saying? So, like, over time, I would, like, accept people into a circle and just, vibes didn't match and, like, frequencies were just so low and underground, they couldn't think, like, on that plateau that I was trying to reach musically, you know what I'm saying? And, I think as far as where I'm at right now as a person and where I'm at, period, is bringing a sense of that oneness and collectiveness that music is supposed to bring, because it's hip-hop, right? It's protests and parties are a collective, a community. And I think it's something that hip-hop is missing, is that sense of community. And, and within that art, we had to struggle to do this art, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we had to get here and do things at a certain degree and at a certain time period that perhaps reluctantly we didn't want to do, but we did it for the sake of art at the end of the day. It always led us back to art. No matter what, the struggle always led us back to art.
Okay, so it's almost like y'all the dynamic duo when y'all get on the track together.
Shit, goddamn it.
It's kind of crazy, like we met like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, it's been about
something like that.
Yeah.
And totally random, not lined up, never knew anyone that he was associated with. We come from two very different circles.
Yep.
But like, I don't know, as time went on and we started like actually like learning who the other person was, it was like, it's like, yo, we literally have the same story, just different bullet points.
Right.
And so like we both want to push a similar message in our music, and like that's like undiscussed. Like that just like that's what he was on, that's what I was on, and like
right.
We just really agreed on like, yo, I want to make music people can vibe to, but when you really like start analyzing what's being said in the music, you can get something from it that is actually like, it's like kind of like learn from my mistakes kind of.
And Atlanta has a problem with doing shit with other people. I don't know what that's about, but like, it's crazy because it's just like, yo, like the whole idea of hip hop and music is to do things together and to bring people together through like music. You know what I'm saying? So it confuses me when that aspect gets twisted around and it's become gaudy and how to say a fucking polished fucking turd. Like that's not what hip hop should be.
It's like
it's
a
a
fake
polished
flex.
turd. It's like no, not even a polished turd. It's polished diarrhea. It's the shiny diarrhea in the toilet. Because it's just like at the end of the day, who is you stunting for, nigga? We all in the house. Like let's make some real shit happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and it's like, I don't know. Honestly, all of our roots in music come from like a band,
Right.
a 5 to 7 piece band of artists all
Exactly.
making music at the same time together, performing it live with instruments. So it's like, one, to find a group of just 4 of us that are like-minded enough to understand that concept and be the ones that are our age still pushing, trying to do it,
Community.
that like have that drive. It's like finding a diamond in the rough that never wanted to be found, because it's like, honestly, I I have plenty of friends. I don't need more friends. When I met Hawk, I didn't fucking want more friends.
I'm just saying,
you know
bro.
what I mean? I'll take connections and good numbers to be able to collaborate with people and let's make some money. You know what I mean? But it's rare to find a person that you're like, yo, I want to talk to you about like life shit, like call you when it's like, bro, I don't know what the
It's
fuck
the
to do
universe.
type shit. You know what I
It
mean?
is
Like,
the universe.
and that's really what it is with these guys. Like, it's not just like some facade. It's not just like, oh, yo, like we're all out here flexing, blah blah. Like, I ain't shit. None of us are shit, bro.
But y'all the shit.
But we're all the shit, and we have something that is valid and I think valuable to offer to the world,
It is
and that's not meant to be like a monetary gain intent. That's like something valuable that like you really listen to it. You might. I'm not saying stop doing what you're doing, but I'm saying shit. Maybe look at it from a different angle and actually benefit from it. You know, and it's like I think between the two of us, we have a lot of fucking shit we've been through that could help people get a fucking leg up. Like if I'd have known some of the shit that we drop in our music, you know,
Right.
and had it from the perspective of when I was in it and when I wasn't, I'd have made a lot more money.
I mean, Tony K. Bambara once said, the job of an artist is to write a revolution. So, you know, I feel like just us meeting and having the same background is kind of like a revolution in its own, because there's not a single black dude and white dude out there. Like, the chemistry between a black man and white man in hip-hop is fucking weird to me. Like, you know, it's like, you know, like, it's not like there's never been anything on a Royce and M level, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what the hell is wrong with that dynamic. Like, I feel like it's so much tension in what we live in, like, prospectively, and what we see every day, that we fail to know that this person's just another human being. And trust me, I ain't gonna say the things about society because I know y'all niggas watching, but I will say this: it's okay to accept a person for who they are instead of acting like you pedestalize for hating them. Because honestly, people don't give a fuck if you hate them. You either gonna catch a fade, or you gonna go home mad, or you gonna go on these little pussy ass blogs y'all be going on and talking about, goddamn, bro, I just met this N-word the other day. No, you just a fucking bitch at the end of the day, dude. Sit your ass down. So like, we try to display that revolution through just being us. Like I said, we be trying to make the eyes the music as well, because we are a statement on this planet. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All eyes on.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
All
like-
eyes on me, like pop.
Okay. So on this project, how many songs do y'all have?
There's 10
Zero.
or 11,
1, 0.
10.
10, 11 ish.
Maybe like an interlude and like little shit like that, but really like 10. It's 35 minutes. We're finna do like a short film kind of thing with the video of it. It'll be like a 40-minute video. That's basically just all the songs through, but like also giving you like a physical representation of what is actually being talked about.
It's a movie.
Because I don't know, there's a lot of metaphors in the music that if you weren't there and don't understand it, you probably wouldn't understand it until you like really analyze it deeply. So it's like, I think people have a hard time like connecting to music that they're just hearing. Because if you're just hearing it, your mind is thinking what your perspective is on the music, right? And I don't want you to think from your perspective. I want you to get into my fucking head
I feel you.
and see it the way that I saw it, to the best that I can portray on, you know, a recreation level.
Exactly.
One thing I can say, I don't even mean to cut you, it's just, I think we've all said it individually amongst each other in every conversation that we've had amongst each other. Like, there's levels to what we say in music, you know, and we're always at the end of the day trying to relate, you know, because what is expression without relation? But at the end of the day, you know, you might hear something on what I'm gonna call the first tier, and you're thinking, oh man, they're talking about and perpetuating and glorifying the trap life, and it's like, no, that's an experience. What you should hear is how that flips. It's called an entendre for internet motherfuckers out there, but at the end of the day, it doesn't stop there. There could be a third and a fourth and a fifth level. So if something makes you question how someone moves, you should ask that artist what motivated them to say that statement. And I promise you, they'll blow their mind with what they really meant. It might hit 6 different ways. So, you know, I just want to throw that out there and talk about the dimensionality of the music.
Interpretations are a bitch, man. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's one. I don't even think it's a fear. Honestly, it's a concern as to
Well,
who's gonna like interpret these lyrics the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, we came into music knowing the realness of the situations that we chapter in this music. You know what I'm saying? But we also know there's a side of artistry where there are niggas that glorify it, and honestly, I don't believe half of them done it. But like, you know, they glorify it, so it's kind of just like for us, like that authenticity is so important.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's when the real emotions will show. Because if we're trying to be a product at the end of the day, which we're not trying to be, there's plenty of products out here. We're trying to show trueness. You know, oneness was oneself. We're trying to unlock that eye up here that folks can't even comprehend or understand what it means. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, with lyrics, you gotta be very, very on point with what you're saying, clear and concise, because you will attract what you put out. And I think even within what we do, our experiences aren't necessarily something that we're gonna call back to us. They're just stories. Like a fucking, like it's like a Bible, goddammit. You know,
Like a reality
it's
check.
like a reality check. Remind you, like, these things happen. It could be you, it could be me, it could be anybody. But this is where it all comes back to. At the end of the day, it feels like nobody is anybody. So you gotta cherish that. You know what I'm saying?
So once the people stream the project, pop the CD in, or however they choose to listen to it, what y'all want them to take away from it?
I want them to take away from it whatever it is that they're supposed to take away from it. Because depending on where a person's at in their life, how old they are or how mature they are, the answer to that question would probably be different. Because some people will find it to be a motivation, other people will find it to be something that's kind of settling. And just kind of makes you understand that your situation isn't, you're not alone in that, you know, like, and you don't have to settle in that environment. There's nothing wrong with being in that environment because you have to be, because I get it. So sometimes you have to be there, but don't find yourself comfortable there, and always have a way to always have an out game, always have a plan to do better and be better and live a better life, because life's too short to not wake up with like a reason to keep waking up.
Big one. That's a big one. It's a big one because the reason I just co-sign everything homie Shay, because like, man, some days, man, it's not easy. It's not easy being able to chronicle your life like the way that like we tend to do it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, growing up being like that, and growing up and even putting yourself in them situations, because you know, I had a very, you know, the reason I have the knowledge I have is because I have gifted parents that taught me the things that I know. You know what I'm saying? But like any situation I put myself in that situation. And even what I can pull from that, you know what I'm saying, is that it's very important that you mind your motherfucking business in this goddamn city. And a lot of people, even the people that was born from this city, they don't know how to mind their own motherfucking business. You know what I'm saying? And even, you know, my boy Koos, he not from the city. He still knows after being brought into that environment, like, yo, this is how you move. And the concept of minding folks' business is shrouded by social media, because with social media you all up in people's faces all the motherfucking time. So what you gonna do? You gonna be like, what is he doing? What is he doing? You know what I'm saying? That gossip shit, like that these thugs doing on Instagram shit, all that gossip shit these niggas doing, tweeting all this shit. Like that shit ain't even real. It's like make believe. You know what I'm saying? Because the real OGs, you know, the folks that taught me, even folks that are in a high position that taught me, what they taught me was instead of integrity, you also need to mind your own motherfucking business, because not everything is your business. Your right and priority is to live your path and not try to dip your hand in everything else, because that can get you fucked up, straight up.
God, straight up.
That's facts. That's facts.
Depending on what block you're on out here,
Yeah,
that could happen really, 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 really easy.
All time.
Or you could have a little cushion, but
And just
you don't fucking know, man. Atlanta, I've been in Atlanta for like 3.5 years or so now, and I don't know. I like to think that I learned cities pretty quick. I travel quite a bit, but Atlanta is like block for block, man. Like, and these are some like been in Atlanta pretty much their whole life people, and I think that they would agree. What? So one block you got the projects, right? Like what's a block?
gentrified as shit.
A block that way. Well, and then literally you'll have a house that's worth like $80,000 with 10 people living in it, next to a house with a fucking 8-foot fence that's got
$500,000.
10 bedroom, and it's like a fucking $500,000, $2 million home just right there, and it's like two totally different environments just like overlapping each other all over the city.
Yep.
Other than when you get up north it's like it's just it costs more, so people are spending more money to have the facade of safeness, but it's really the same thing. It's just nicer houses. That's just where you go to
There's
grow
still
up.
crack.
There's definitely still crack.
worth.
Man, I booted cars in Buckhead for like 6 months. Like as the clubs would get out on the weekend, bro, and like I have.
That shit like a mini Las
That was the
Vegas.
worst job of my life.
I bet it was.
Bro, I hated myself so much doing that job.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine.
I got some horror stories from that job, bro.
You were like the messenger for the man.
Bro, the thing is you're at work and you're booting people's cars, so every single person you encounter fucking hates
Look,
you.
I used to do debt collection, so I know what you're talking
Oh, that would probably
I
be worse.
hate that, boy.
I had people fucking put
Debt
guns in my
collection?
face and shit.
Have you ever tried to take
Everything.
somebody's couch out their house? Like,
Yes, I work with this fucking dude that has this big ass truck, and three of us would go in and
shit,
clear
that
out whole
repo,
houses
man.
in 3 hours while people were at work because all their shit was getting repossessed. And all the houses
You
getting
can talk
repossessed.
shit about so much being a repo man,
Man.
too, bro. Like, this shit crazy. And you just be like, that ain't even that
We
deep,
never got
bro.
caught,
Ain't even
though.
that
No
deep.
one
I'm
ever
just trying
caught
to make
us doing it,
money,
so I never
man.
had to like
Legally.
experience that, but fuck, that shit was fucking terrible.
Okay, so where would y'all like to take this project? Like, what level? I should say, to perform this project in front of a crowd, what reaction do you want from them?
I think
Because the little bit I heard is hit.
the reaction I would want is something. I want something to unlock up here, not just from here, because I speak from the heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Pisces. You know what I'm saying? Like, naturally, I speak from the heart. So like, if I can touch your mind before I touch your heart, and if I can do both at the same time, and I feel like I speak for any artist, if I can touch the mind and heart at the same time and unlock something within another human being that perhaps boosts them to my level, because where I'm at right now, I'm high. I'm always high. I don't even need this. You know what I'm saying? This is just a, I don't even call it therapy, because for it to be therapy, it would have to satiate me. It doesn't satiate me. It's a habit.
it's social.
You know what I'm saying? So, to remain high at all times, to remain on our frequency, to be able to create something so beautiful like an art of struggle. Because we humans, we're going to keep struggling. There's going to be another art of struggle, you know what I'm saying? So to display that and show that to other people and perhaps bring them to our level, because we're trying to bring thousands upon thousands to our level. You know what I'm saying? So to bring them to that peak with us would mean much more to us than just being like, yeah, nigga, we made this song. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck just making a song, nigga. Do you remember it?
Right.
Like, that's just what we try to do. You know what I'm saying?
So what was the
said.
concept behind the project?
It's actually kind of crazy. So it really started out as like I would just make a song, or I would start a song and write like 3/4 of it just here at my house, bored as fuck, and send it to Hawk, and then Hawk would come over and do his thing on it, or Hawk would have a song that he had like half of it done or a little bit of it done and wanted me to hop on, and it was just one song at a time. It was never like it was never like this big picture perspective.
Grandiose.
It wasn't like, oh, we're gonna have this whole elaborate scheme and message and story that's consistent beginning to end. We didn't plan that. We just wrote music that came from a place of truth and a place of genuine feeling, allegedly. And you know, as all the songs were being made, it was just kind of like, shit, bro, like we have a collection of music that we're both on, or we have another artist, Trey, who couldn't be here today, but you'll see him eventually.
Shout out my boy. He sound like Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he does not sound like Mike Tyson. Sounds nothing like Mike Tyson. That's
Mike
hilarious.
Tyson, yeah, he gotta live. I'm just fucking with him. Shout out my boy Trey. Trey underscore top notch.
But
Okay. So how has the pandemic?
oh man,
Oh,
Fuck this question.
next. No,
Really have to answer this question. Like, I mean, seriously. Cause I mean, we can. I mean.
No, we're gonna go through the motions.
So how has the pandemic affected us as artists? We like performing. I mean, and quite frankly, aside from liking to perform, even the music market itself is so dead. You know what I'm saying? People are starting to have to rearrange why they're doing art. Like, even a lot of celebrities are having to like buckle down and be like, why are we doing this? Because no one gives a fuck if you're flashy now, because everyone's in the house. So what do you got to talk about? Like, you know, you got to talk about, you know, some shit that's happened, some shit that's occurring right now. There's so much shit you can talk about right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is the time where we really should, even as Americans, focus on our emotions. You know, I don't consider myself no goddamn American, but like, I figure those who really are at peace with being one with this country should definitely come to peace with their emotions if they want to see some change out of it. And that's just my opinion on that.
how has the pandemic affected being an artist? Donna, no. It really sucks, the timing of it. I mean, I guess it would suck kind of whenever it happens, but we were honestly doing pretty good with the shows. Like, we were getting to a point where it was 2 to 4 shows in a week. You know, I'd say 2 shows on average, 3 shows, you know, 2 to 4 shows every week, and we were making anywhere, you know, we were making a lot of money, but it was a little side hustle that we had coming in on that, selling merch and CDs and getting guarantees from venues and, you know, nothing
Oh,
crazy.
y'all give
but-
a great show now.
Yeah, I mean,
I almost took my camera out.
I
Sorry about it.
yeah. Well, I appreciate you saying that.
Insurance.
But yeah, so I mean, and then that obviously came to a complete halt. And I have a lot of friends that, you know, I mean, I supplement my income with another hustle, remodeling houses. So I'm not completely relying on my art at this point. Unfortunately, wish I was. But, you know, I have a lot of friends that all they do is make art and throw shows and are event companies, and, you know, they're all going out of business. They all have no way to make money. They're all trying to get union jobs. They're all trying to finish getting their degrees, and, you know, they're like, yeah, sure, those things sound great, but it's like, dude, when you were making $100,000 every other month throwing 200,000 person festivals, and now you're making nothing and already spent, you know, $500, $600, $700, $2 million getting all these festivals ready, and well, you take that L because that's back end, and you're not making any money for the foreseeable future. So I mean, really, what it does is the fact that there's not more support for that industry, it's probably, that industry is probably being used more than any other industry at this point, other than like essentials like food and, you know, that kind of stuff. and like medical stuff. But it's like people are sitting at home watching TV, fucking on Netflix. That's all. That's art too. That's all filmmakers and actors and writers and an industry that's being used right now. But it's like, all right, so we're gonna soak all that up and listen to all this music and not let the artist or the production teams or the sound companies that run these festivals or the people that go out and build stages at these festivals or the people that clean out the porta potties. You know what I mean? Like, to plumbers, to electricians, to, I mean, it affects everybody. And there's, like, no help about it. It's just like, alright, well, I guess you shouldn't have invested all of your time in something that we all want and want you to keep doing, but don't value as an expense to help you. So, sorry. Suck it up. Take your investment elsewhere. I mean, it's just like, I don't know, it sucks because it's going to end up being the only companies that are left are these big top dog companies like Live Nation and shit that have a budget to be able to take that L and still have enough money to sustain the essential workers that they have in their company until this shit normalizes. Right. And then they can basically just control the market like the Walmart of production. And it sucks because I know a lot of the smaller production teams, you know, like a lot of them, and they're all just fucked trying to get day jobs that pay not enough I mean, if you're not making $20 an hour, you're better off sitting at home thinking real hard about how to make more money. Like, straight up, like, it's, you're barely even sustaining a hard to sustain life if you're making like $12 an hour. And that's in Atlanta, where it's pretty cheap. Like, Atlanta's pretty cheap to live in for a city. You know, so it's like, I don't know. It's making us all have to do something normal and just suppress our creativity. But it's like, I don't know, we've been trying to just push ourselves to stay motivated to do what we love doing and find joy in what it is, and just kind of really simplifying why we do this. Like, why do you make music? Why make music? Because when I make a song and it's amazing, I can tell that it's amazing in my own opinion, and you listen to it for the first time, it's just that I created that didn't exist until I just made it just now, and that's a good feeling. You know, so whether or not anybody listens to it or gives a shit about it, I enjoyed making it and I enjoy listening to it, and hope that there's enough people to share the opinion of that I can keep doing it with the momentum I am now. Yeah, so it's kind of just like we're plotting right now.
Yep.
Do